Because of the extreme amount of bass, listeners' discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a very different video. I'm going to be reviewing the Optifine 1.7.9 D2 version from Minecraft. I'm going to be reviewing this mod. Not really reviewing it, well, yeah, pretty much reviewing it. I might be asking, why are you doing a mod review all of a sudden? I don't know. I thought it would be cool to review a mod, and why not start with the awesome Optifine, because it is what I use. Now quality is going to be different since I'm actually recording this with my regular settings, because I'm going to show you Optifine and all that. I'm doing the regular settings, so it's actually going to be a little different looking. But we're going to go over all the Optifine settings and stuff. But before we do anything, I wanted to give a shout out to a really awesome YouTuber. I've actually been watching his Let's Play. He gave me some positive feedback. You might remember him from the Minecraft Let's Play video. I mentioned his name is Elite Blocks. Channel link for him is in the description below. I really highly recommend y'all check him out because he is really good at making videos. I'm actually watching his Minecraft Let's Play right now, and it is pretty freaking good. So you can, something should be popping up on the screen saying Elite Blocks, how you spell it and stuff. It should be like popping up somewhere on the screen. I don't know. I'm gonna go in the house so I don't like die. And see, it's gonna lag because my settings are strange. Alright, so yeah, Elite Blocks, check him out. I highly recommend him. Awesome guy. Hopefully he's watching this so he can see this shout out. Alright, so let's start with Optifine. What is Optifine? Optifine is pretty much a mod that is going to help your FPS in Minecraft be boosted, and if you don't want any FPS boost, you can. It also has awesome customization options for you to use, but its main focus is FPS and stuff. Since Minecraft code is kind of written weird, Optifine rewrites some of the code and stuff like that to make the game run a lot better. So, go in the options here. You go to video settings, you'll see all this different stuff, and I'm gonna tell you what pretty much each of these graphic stuff does, and we're gonna start over here. Graphics. Graphics with fancy and stuff. What that does is it will change the grass and the trees, obviously, as you can tell. I'm also going to give you all tips on what setting to use if you want better FPS. If you want better FPS, leave that on fast. So that's what that does. That just changes the main graphics of the game and stuff like that. Render distance. Now Optifine is pretty legit. As you can see, you can go from tiny all the way to extreme. I'm not going to throw it on extreme, because that might actually make the game crash. My computer probably couldn't support it. But, okay, obviously this is the render distance. As you can see, if it loads, the render distance is a lot smaller now, and the fog is settling in. Render distance, if you want to make it run the fastest, well, you can obviously tell you might want to put it on tiny or something. So yeah, that's what that does. Render distance is how many chunks you can see. I don't remember exactly how much chunk. I think chunks are 16 by 16 blocks. So obviously tiny is gonna help you run them really good. Obviously, smooth lighting is pretty much this awesome light you see here. If you turn this off, you'll see it gets kind of old Minecraft style, as you can tell. So it's really helps boost your FPS. And you can also do minimum. I really don't know. It probably changes a little bit. I don't really know what that does too much. Frame rate. Now, this is a big thing here. This actually lets you control your frame rate. You can have it set at 15 frames per second, which you can see is pretty bad. You can even have it set at 5, which is even worse. If you want to have the max frames per second, I recommend this if you want the best performance to go to unlimited. But if your computer can go well over 60 frames per second, you can set this to VSync, which will limit it to your monitor refresh rate. My laptop's screen refresh rate is 60, so it sets it at 60. If yours is 30, it'll do the difference in anything like that. So, best FPS, you want unlimited, and you can play around with it if you want to. View bobbing. As you can see, as I run around, my hand in the lower corner moves. Now, if you turn this off, you can tell it kind of doesn't move. So that, I guess, could help with frame rate. I don't really think it does anything to the frame rate. Now, smooth lighting level lets you control the smooth lighting level. You can turn it off, which basically has the same effect as turning this off. You can adjust the smooth lighting level. That could help your FPS too. GUI scale. This one's a little obvious. Yeah. Honestly, that doesn't really matter too much. Alright, let's say it just changed some of my settings for some reason. Advanced OpenGL. Honestly, mess around with this setting for the best results, because I don't get good results with this on my computer. Some computers will only let you have fast, some computers only have fancy, and some won't let you change it all. It depends on your graphics card and stuff like that. Like if you have an Intel HD 2000, I know from experience that you can only do fast, and that actually helps that graphics card. So that's what that does. You can read what it does down there. That is what it does. It really is a hit or miss. It depends on the computer. Brightness, obviously, what that is. Now chunk loading. This is the big one. Minecraft's default chunk loading is pretty bad. So what the guy did with Optifine is he rewrote the code in two different ways. Smooth and multi-core are the two settings. Smooth is it helps it load better, and it's just a lot better for stable FPS. Now my screen looks kind of weird because of the graphics settings that I'm on right now. These aren't my recording settings. But as you can see, now multi-core, I don't use smooth, so I don't know exactly what that does. But what multi-core does, if you have a multi-core computer, Minecraft by default uses one core. So say you have a 1.8 gigahertz quad-core processor. You're only using one of those 1.8 gigahertz processors. So what you want to do is you go on multi-core, and it will use 1, 2, or 3. I don't really know how many it uses exactly, but it will use multiple cores, and your worlds will load a lot faster. Fog, obvious, and I'm glad we're on tiny for this. I can actually show y'all. So fog, it's a little obvious. This turns off and on. I like fog. I don't know. People think I'm strange for liking the fog, but I do. So I'm gonna leave that on. Fog start. This will choose when the fog starts, pretty much. I don't know if I'll be able to really replicate this too much. Alright. Yeah, I leave it on default. 3D anaglyphic. I'm not going to turn that on because I might crash the game. I don't know. But that, if you have 3D glasses, you can use this and experience Minecraft in 3D. Alright, so now we have a bunch of categories here. Let's go. The first one was called quality. Mipmap. What this does is apparently it makes visual effects, makes distant objects look better by smoothing the texture details. Honestly, turn this off for best performance. I've noticed turn this off. I don't really like how it looks anyways. You can, if you want it, you can leave it on. For best performance, I'd recommend turning it off. This has to do with this. You can do rough smoothing or fine smoothing. Again, I wouldn't mess with that. Anti-aliasing. Off at all times. I'm sorry, even if your computer can support it, it really doesn't affect Minecraft too much. Just leave it off. It's gonna probably make you lag a lot. Especially me, I'd lag. Anisotropic filtering, leave that off. Standard texture detail. It makes finer details in bitmap textures, as it says. Leave it off. I would definitely. Now the rest are settings you can have on. If you want clear water, I'll go over to my farm, which I have actually worked on a little bit. Shh, don't tell the Let's Play. As you can see through there, if I turn this on, the water is clear underneath. I'm actually going to leave that on. It's kind of cool. So yeah, that's what that does. Better grass. This has grass all the way around, and that's actually kind of cool, but it can look weird in some ways. Custom fonts will... Texture Pack has custom fonts that'll be on. You can turn it off and on to your liking. Swamp colors. The swamp colors affects grass, leaves, vines, and water inside of swamps. So if you don't like how swamps look, you can turn that off for just, I don't know, probably just look like regular Minecraft. I don't really know. Connected textures. I'll have to go over here for this. Hold on one second here. Let me go into game mode 1 for you. See this glass? Now, I personally don't like this, but you can turn this on, and the glass will be all connected. It's kind of cool, but it also does things for other blocks too. So I don't really want that on. So it's custom sky, and you can do fancy too. Custom sky. If the texture pack has a sky texture, you have custom sky texture if you want. That's what that does, obviously. All right, I went all the way down there. I didn't even do this. Random mobs. If the texture pack has different mob skins, it'll use all of them. Better snow is the same thing as the grass and stuff like that. This actually might affect FPS, so I'd leave this off if you want best performance. Custom colors. A texture pack supplies custom colors. You get that. Smooth biomes. If this is on, smoothing of the biome borders will happen. I guess this is default in Minecraft. I don't really know what this done. Apparently it's sampling and averaging the color of all surrounding blocks. I guess leave that off if you want fast performance. And natural textures. What is this? I have not seen this one. Natural textures removes the grid-like pattern created by repeating blocks of the same type. So, I don't know. I have it on default. You can experiment with that if you want to. Okay, details. This is a big one. Clouds. Now, what is really cool about all the settings, these three, is cool. You can turn clouds off, or you can have you could be on fancy grass but have fast clouds. And the same thing with the trees. You could be on fancy grass but have fast trees, which I actually like that setting a lot. Which is pretty cool with this. I mean, I'm trying to make sense here. Hopefully, I'm not like skipping things and making no sense. But that's what that does. Really, these three are just customization options, really. So you can have fast trees and fancy grass. You can have fast grass and fancy trees for all you want. Now the sky, when the sky is off, the moon and sun are still visible. I guess I can make a game faster. Sun and moon, obviously you might want to leave that on, because what Optifine does is it even has the sun and moon going even in tiny, which is why I like the mod, because if you're playing regular Minecraft and you have it on tiny, you can't see the sun and stuff. Depth fog has to do with man, my voice is getting like really messed up here. Depth fog is at bedrock levels. When you're at bedrock levels, you usually notice kind of like a black fog all around you. If you turn that off, you can see all the way down, and there's no fog. That's what that does. Translucent blocks controls the color blending of translucent blocks, like with different colors, such as stained glass and water and ice. I would leave that on default. I'm not too sure what that would really affect you with. Now, cloud height, you can adjust that apparently. I have never done that, so I don't really know. Grass, same thing. You can mess with the grass and stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff. Rain and snow. If you don't like rain, turn it off. Sometimes rain aggravates me too. You can turn the stars off and on. Capes. Players have capes, you can have those on. Held item tooltips, you can mess with that. If you don't like that, you can turn it off. And dropped items, you can have those between fast and fancy, which is pretty cool. So that's what the details does. Now here's a big one. Animations. All the animations the game has. Water, fire, redstone, flames, void particles, rain splashes, potion particles, terrain animation, textures animation, lava animation, portal animation, explosion animation, smoke animation, water particles, portal particles, I can't talk. Dripping water and lava items, animated particles, all that stuff is animation. Best FPS performance, turn that off, but I will warn you, fire will look very strange after that. Best performance, hit this all off button. But that's all animation stuff. Pretty cool. Alright, so now we get into performance. This is where I'm going to have to do some bit of explaining. Now, smooth FPS is only effective for drivers, certain graphics cards. I would just leave this off. I really don't know what it does besides the graphic driver buffers. I would leave that off. Load far makes it always load on far. And world chunks loaded at distance far allows faster interdistance switching. I'd just leave that off. Chunk updates, don't mess with this. Honestly, just leave it on default or else you're really going to screw up your FPS, as you can read down there. Leave that off. Fast math. Uses optimized sin and cos functions, which can better utilize CPU cache and increase FPS. I really wouldn't mess with that. I haven't messed with it. I only know what it does. But here's one you want to have on. Fast render. It uses a different algorithm for your GPU load and increases FPS. I've noticed this. Now, if you notice flickering textures, you can turn it off, but I would leave that on. I noticed actually a pretty big increase with this on. Smooth World is only effective for local worlds and only for single core CPUs. So if you have a single core CPU, you might want to attempt trying out this setting. I don't have a single core CPU, so I'm not going to try it. Preloaded chunks, leave it off. Unless you want to customize when chunks are loaded. This could affect your FPS pretty bad though. I've actually noticed if you change this, it might actually affect your game forever until you reinstall Minecraft, so I wouldn't really mess with that at all. Dynamic updates, those do more updates. If it's on, it does more updates while players standing still. And it loads the world faster while you're standing still. Honestly, leave it off for best FPS. And this here. Lazy chunk loading. Smooths the integrated server chunk loading by distributing the chunks over several ticks. only effective for single core CPU. So if you have a single core CPU in your computer, you can check that. If you don't know how to check if you have a single core CPU, just go into your search bar and type in device manager and go into processor and see how many are listed on there. That's how many CPU cores you have. So that's a bit of information for you there. So that's performance. Other lagometer. If you hit F3, you'll notice you got that thing going on. If you hit lagometer, it turns that thing on the bottom back on. Now, if that's red, I believe that means your computer's under stress when you're playing Minecraft. As you can see, mine's green, so I don't know if I'm really under that much stress right now. But it's kind of high up there because I'm recording with VSync on, which is kind of bad. So that's what that does. I'm going to turn it off. Weather, you can turn off weather and on, stuff like that. So yeah, do what you want with that. Full screen, I play in full screen all the time. I've noticed it gives me an FPS boost, and I like it. I don't know. Autosave, big one. I don't care if you get no lag at all. Put this at 30-minute, because as you can read out there, autosave causes the famous lag spike of death. Put that on 30 minutes. I highly recommend that. That is something you really need to do. Debug profiler. I believe this is that thing over there, which I don't know how to read. So I'm not gonna do much with that. If you know how to read that, go ahead. Time. This is only effective in creative mode, and I wouldn't really mess with this. You can make it day or night only in creative mode, and you can change the resolution with this. That's how I record. I'm not gonna do it because I might mess up the recording. But I go all the way down to 1024 by 600 for all of my recordings except for right now, because I wanted to show you Optifine. Alright, so that's pretty much Optifine there, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm not going to go to far plus. That is Optifine. Hopefully I explained everything really well. The link for go get Optifine is in the description below. They do all types of updates. I'm going to warn you something here. There's a difference between regular Optifine and preview versions of Optifine. This is a preview version of Optifine right now. This Minecraft version 1.7.9 is a preview version. Those really don't have. They could have issues in them. It could not run as good. I've noticed that previews usually don't run as good as full, complete releases of Optifine. So use it with caution. If you want the latest full release, I believe that right now at the time of this recording, that is 1.7.4. This is going to be a few days before I upload this, so I don't know when what version might be out, but I know this is a preview version of Minecraft Optifine. So I hope you enjoyed Optifine mod review. I actually really enjoyed this. I hope I explained things to you. Oh, Optifine also enables support for HD texture packs, so you don't have to have MC Patcher. You get all your amazing texture pack needs right here in Minecraft. So that's what's good about. That's pretty good. So yeah, Optifine is a really good mod. I don't care if you have a freaking Intel Core i7 64 processor running at 5 gigahertz or something. That's not possible, I believe. It might overheat, Peter. I don't care if you have an NVIDIA GTX Titan, 3 of them in your dang computer. Go get Optifine. It's an awesome mod. I would highly recommend it to anyone. I'm not going to do an installation tutorial because I think Minecraft has instant installation now, which you double click it and it installs. You can still install it the old way. The mod page actually has a description to do that if you don't know how. So I'm not going to bother with that one because my desktop quality video would be kind of bad. So yeah, that's Optifine. I really hope you enjoyed this mod review. I actually really recommend this mod to anybody. It is a great mod. It is really great, and I'm gonna use it probably even if I had 3 Titans in my computer. I would probably still use this. Again, shout out to Elite Blocks for being awesome because you're a really good YouTuber. He has 96 subscribers at this time. Let's get him like to 100 or something. So you go check him out. His name should be popping up again. I don't know if I'm gonna edit too much into this because I'm lazy. But yeah, that was Optifine, guys. I'm pretty sure I went over all the settings. Everything should be good. Oh, FLV Quick Pro, homie, what's up here, man? 30. I don't understand why you would play like that. But yeah, that's Optifine. I'm probably just gonna end this now, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Optifine review. Leave any suggestions for any more mods I could possibly install and review. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do any more. I'm always willing to do an update to this type of video because Optifine has new features and everything. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed Optifine review. Check out the mod, check out our elite blocks in the description below, and all of the amazingness. And I guess that's all I have for you today. I'm pretty sure I explained everything I could. So yeah, we're good. So I guess, as always, have a good day. Hey guys, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. You can also comment if you have any questions for me. And if you haven't already, and you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button for more videos. Peace out, guys.